So, welcome back to today's episode. Today we do a episode about some more cultural topic, I guess. This is a very common Tatort Fernsehreihe. My God, can't pronounce words. Is a very famous, I guess, German series, like a crime series. And we're gonna read the Wikipedia article about it because it's some kind of a I wouldn't maybe exaggerate, but some kind of a cultural thing in Germany. So yeah. Tatort Fernsehreihe. Tatort ist eine Kriminalfilmreihe nach einer Idee von Gunther Witte, deren Ausstrahlung 1970 im Fernsehen Westdeutschlands mit der Folge Taxi nach Leipzig begann. Zunächst als Produktion des deutschen Fernsehens gestartet, ist sie nunmehr eine Gemeinschaftsproduktion von ARD, ORF und SRF. In den ersten Jahren erschien durchschnittlich ein neuer Film pro Monat. Ab den frühen 1990er Jahren erhöhte sich die Häufigkeit der Erstsendungen und liegt mittlerweile bei etwa 35 pro Jahr mit einem Rekord von 40 neuen Folgen im Jahr 2015. Eine neue Folge wird in der Regel sonntags zur Hauptsendezeit im ersten, im ORF 2 und im SRF 1 erstmals gezeigt. Bislang erschienen über 1300 Tatortfolgen. Jeder Film erzählt in der Regel eine in sich abgeschlossene Geschichte, in der wechselnd und wiederkehrend ein Ermittler oder ein Team aus Ermittlern in einem Kriminalfall an deutschen, schweizerischen oder österreichischen, meist großstädtischen Schauplätzen ermittelt. Die nahezu unverändert gebliebene Titelmusik zum bekannten Vorspann mit durch einen Schlitz blickenden Augen und einer flüchtenden Person stammt von Klaus Doldinger. Tatort ist die langlebigste und mit teils über 10 Millionen Zuschauern bei der Erstausstrahlung beliebteste Krimireihe im deutschsprachigen Raum. Etliche Filme aus der Reihe erhielten Nominierungen und Prämierungen für bekannte Film- und Fernsehpreise, darunter den Grimme-Preis, den Deutschen Fernsehpreis, die Goldene Kamera und die Romy. So that was very long. Anyways, this is the first, what's it called? Absatz. That's the way you say a paragraph in German. The first Absatz. We have 4 Absätze, which means 4 paragraphs, and we're going to read all that. Word by word, translate that and translate that into context. Tatort ist eine Kriminalfilmreihe nach einer Idee von Gunther Witte, deren Ausstrahlung 1970 im Fernsehen Westdeutschlands mit der Folge Taxi nach Leipzig begann. So, Tatort in general means the place where something happened in terms of crime. What's it called? Crime scene, I guess. Tatort. Yeah, crime scene. Ist eine Kriminalfilmreihe. Is a crime movie, crime film, Kriminalfilm, crime film. Reihe in this case means series, but it can also mean like a kind of, what's it called, Bücher. Reihe, yeah, it's also a series, but I mean like books stacked next to each other on a shelf, for example. There's also a Reihe. Anyways. Nach einer Idee von Gunther Witte, nach in general is a preposition in terms of time, like after something, or in terms of a location, like behind something, after something. But in this case, it means according to, nach einer Idee von Gunther Witte, according to an idea from or of Gunther Witte, which is a man. Similarly, the what's it called? Founder, the inventor, I guess, right? Inventor of this series. Yeah. Tatort ist eine Kriminalfilmreihe nach einer Idee von Gunther Witte. It is a crime film series according to an idea of Gunther Witte, deren Ausstrahlung 1970 im Fernsehen Westdeutschlands mit der Folge Taxi nach Leipzig begann. Whose Ausstrahlung can either mean something like, an aura and kind of an energy somebody gives off, a vibe somebody gives off, or Ausstrahlung in this case means, what's it called? Streaming. Ausstrahlung. In terms of TV. Yeah, charisma, that was what I was referring to. The broadcast, I guess. Of, whose broadcast? Strahlung just means the, by the way, the, I'm blanking on the word right now. Strahlung, radiation, yeah, or kind of energy like the sun radiation, you know, and that is with a prefix aus. Yeah, I'm always very, I'm blanking on the word, very precise when it comes to these things, just to get you to understand why certain words are a certain way, even though it might not always make sense. But yeah, it's always interesting to know that, because it's also interesting in terms of how the language works. And yeah, deren Ausstrahlung 1970 im Fernsehen Westdeutschlands, whose broadcast 1970, you don't say like 1970. I think in almost every language you say 1970 because it's shorter and more established. And yeah, so in 1970, im Fernsehen Westdeutschlands, in the TV, Fernsehen, whereby word that means look afar, but that's just a word for TV, for, yeah. Television, I think, in terms of, there's just another excursion, but in terms of where the word derives from, tele is probably afar and vision is seeing, so it's kind of the same, but just German. So, in the television Westdeutschland is that is a historic, it once was the part where Germany was split into two parts, like the East and the West, and that was the more, I don't know, like maybe liberal, maybe I'm not correct in saying that, but the like non-East, kind of Soviet Union or whatever that was influenced part, the non-DDR part, I guess. Mit der Folge Taxi nach Leipzig begann, with the episode Taxi nach Leipzig, which just means taxi to Leipzig. Leipzig is a city in the, I don't know, is it the south or the east of Germany? I'm not quite sure, but somewhere in Germany. Began, which just means started, the first past tense. So, whose broadcast started in the west of Germany with the episode Taxi nach Leipzig, or Taxi to Leipzig. Zunächst als Produktion des deutschen Fernsehens gestartet, ist sie nunmehr eine Gemeinschaftsproduktion von ARD, ORF und SRF. So, zunächst is in general like means that the next thing you do, like zunächst tun wir dies, like the next thing we do is this, but in this case it is a kind of stylistic word of saying first of, in this case started, zunächst als Produktion des deutschen Fernsehens gestartet, like first of as a production of the German television. This is a what's it called, own brand name, seems to be, or something, I'm not quite sure. Yeah, that refers to the ARD, I guess, which is a what's it called, a Fernsehsender. I'm blanking on the word. Fernsehsender. Television station, yeah, TV station. One of the two government-owned TV stations in Germany. So, first of started as, or like in English you would say starting as a production of the German television, but first of started as a production of the German television. That is the way you say that in German, mixed with English, you know. Ist sie nunmehr eine Gemeinschaftsproduktion von ARD, ORF und SRF. Is she, but in this case it, nunmehr, so like that would mean now more word by word, but it's kind of a more stylistic word of saying now or by now. Eine Gemeinschaftsproduktion, very long word, but that just means I guess like shared production. Gemeinschaft means what's it called? Gemeinschaft. Gemeinschaft. Community, yeah, of course, community. You could say community production, but like I think a kind of shared production of the 3 TV stations, ARD, ORF und SRF. ARD is the German one, ORF seems to be the Austrian one because of the O in German, Ö, Österreich, and which is the German word of Austria, and SRF, which is the Swiss production, I guess, production TV station, you know. So starting as a production of the German TV or TV station, now it has evolved, you could say, probably into a shared production of the 3 TV stations. In den ersten Jahren erschien durchschnittlich ein neuer Film pro Monat. In the first years, in den ersten Jahren, erschien durchschnittlich, appeared, you could say, that would be word by word, but yeah, I mean, appeared is good enough. Durchschnittlich, what does that say? Durchschnittlich, blank another word, durchschnittlich, yeah, average. Or on average, you could rather say on average, appear on average 1 new film per month. So 1 new episode appear per month on average in the first few years. Ab den frühen 1990er Jahren erhöhte sich die Häufigkeit der Erstsendungen und liegt mittlerweile bei etwa 35 pro Jahr, mit einem Rekord von 40 neuen Folgen im Jahr 2015. So, ab is in general a preposition or prefix, which just means starting off of, or and not ending, but like something new starting, you know. So ab den frühen 1990er Jahren means starting in the, or starting off of the, früh, which just means early, 1990er Jahren, 1990s, years, that's the way you say that in German, erhöhte sich die Häufigkeit der Erstsendungen. Erhöhte means it's master gone, what's the way to say that? It got bigger, so the amount of the Häufigkeit. The amount of the, let me just translate that. Erhöhte sich die Häufigkeit, reflexive verb. Häufigkeit. The frequency increased, of course. So starting of the early 1990s, the frequency of the Erstsendung, which just means first broadcast of something, the frequency of it increased und liegt mittlerweile bei etwa 35 pro Jahr. And liegt in general means lays, but that is a way of saying it is now at 35 episodes in this case, pro Jahr, per year, mittlerweile, which just means by now, mit einem Rekord, with a record, or record number, von 40 neuen Folgen im Jahr 2015, of 40 new episodes in the year 2015. So, starting off of the early 1990 years, or 1990s, the frequency of the first, what's it called? Erstsendung. Sorry, the right way to say that. Erstsendung. first broadcast, increased and is now at leaked. Just keep in mind, in general, it means lying or lay somewhere, and is now at, in this case, it means is now at 35 per year with a record of 40 in the year of 2015. Eine neue Folge wird in der Regel sonntags zur Hauptsendezeit im 1., im ORF 2 und im SRF 1 erstmals gezeigt. One new episode wird gezeigt is, as I always say, the passive form. So wird is in general, as I always explain for the passive form, will or is going to be. That's the way you say that in German. Like the future form and the second past tense of the verb that you want to say, because that is the supportive verb, is being shown. Wird gezeigt is being shown, or will, translating into English, will be shown kind of, or will shown, word by word. But yeah, wird gezeigt. I know there's very precise grammar stuff. Don't need to know that, but that's just explaining it. Eine neue Folge, when you, I always want to say series, but it's episode. Wird gezeigt is being shown. In der Regel means in the rule, word by word, but that just means on average. Sonntags, Sundays, on Sunday, every Sunday, zur Hauptsendezeit, at the main, what's it called? Main broadcast time, like where most people are watching TV. Like in Germany, that is at 8, like 8:15 p.m. on Sunday, I guess, or Saturday. But in general, I guess like 8:15 p.m. or in German 20:15 or 8:45, just for you to have the clock times. And yeah, eine neue Folge wird in der Regel sonntags zur Hauptsendezeit im 1. That is the ARD, what I was referring to, this link, das erste, which is one of the 2 TV stations in Germany that are government owned, that you pay for, or I don't know if you even still have to pay for anyways. With the Austrian and the Swiss, and in the Swiss erstmals for the first time being shown. So on average, no, not on average, in der Regel, what's it called? What did I say? In general, like mostly, yeah, it's being shown at the main broadcast time on these TV station channels for the first time. Bislang erschienen über 1300 Tatort-Folgen. Bislang is kind of a weird word for you to dissect that. That just means up to or until. Lang just means long in English. So until long, but that just means up to now, up to this point. Up until this point. So like today. Erschienen über 1300 Tatort-Folgen. Erschienen is the past tense of erscheinen, that just means appear. Scheinen is like to shine like the sun, and erscheinen is to appear. So erschienen über 1300 Tatort-Folgen, appeared more than 1300 Tatort episodes, and yeah, so they got made and broadcasted, I guess. Jeder Film erzählt in der Regel eine in sich abgeschlossene Geschichte, in der wechselnd und wiederkehrend ein Ermittler oder ein Team aus Ermittlern in einem Kriminalfall an deutschen, schweizerischen oder österreichischen, meist großstädtischen Schauplätzen ermittelt. Jeder Film erzählt, tells, in der Regel, that is again in general or mostly, erzählt in der Regel, tells mostly a in itself, in sich abgeschlossene Geschichte, in itself Abgeschlossen, that means closed, or like to, when you have a lock for something. Abschließen. Completed, you could say, or concluded. Abgeschlossene Geschichte, a in itself concluded story or plot in this case. In der wechselnd und wiederkehrend ein Ermittler oder ein Team aus Ermittlern, in which switching, I guess, or changing, and coming back, wiederkehrend, coming back, ein Ermittler, a detective, oder ein Team aus Ermittlern, or a team of detectives, made of detectives, like consisting of them, in einem Kriminalfall an deutschen, schweizerischen oder österreichischen, meist großstädtischen Schauplätzen ermittelt. In a crime case, Kriminalfall, fall in general means like when someone is falling, I am falling, ich falle, or in this case, a case, word by word, literally, crime case, an deutschen, schweizerischen oder österreichischen, an German, Swiss or Austrian, mostly großstädtischen, which means big city-ish. What's the way to say that? Großstädtisch. Sorry. Metropolitan, I guess, yeah. Schauplätzen ermittelt, that means, in this case, crime scenes, but Schauplätzen, Schauplatz, I don't know the exact way to say that. Schauplatz, yeah, scene, showing place, yeah, I guess you know what I mean. Schauplätzen ermittelt, yeah. So every film or episode tells, in most cases, or in almost every case, in der Regel, or generally, in itself conclude a plot, or a plot that is concluded in itself, in which switching or changing or coming back a what's the word? What did I say? Wiederkehrend. Let me just. Recurring, yeah, you'd say. Ein Ermittler, a detective or a team of detective is what's it called? Not detecting. Investigating, yeah. Ermitteln, you could say, yeah, that is investigating. Is investigating a crime scene. German, Swiss or Austrian, mostly metropolitan scenes. Ja, die nahezu unverändert gebliebene Titelmusik zum bekannten Vorspann mit durch einen Schlitz blickenden Augen und einer flüchtenden Person stammt von Klaus Doldinger. The nahezu is basically the same as fast, which just means almost. Nahezu means close to, yeah, so the close to. Unverändert, unchanged. Gebliebene, stayed, you could say, or is being kept in this case. Titelmusik, title music zum bekannten Vorspann mit durch einen Schlitz blickenden Augen. For the known trailer is a Vorspann. Opening credits can also mean like in terms of a what's the word? Kutscher, but that is a very old word. Carriage, I guess. Like the horses and all that thing, or like for a husky snow riding setups for sledges or something, I don't know. If these are the right words to use for that, but this can mean something like that, but that is a very old word. But in general, Vorspann is used for like movies where the kind of trailer and what's going to happen in that episode and all these kind of things are like being shown. I think that probably the right word for that to use would be trailer, but I'm not quite sure, because the trailer is maybe something little different, but like trailer within the episode, so I guess you know what I mean, hopefully. So the close to unchanged or word by word unchanged stay title music for or at in general, like to, yeah, in this case it would be for the known or popular trailer within the movie, I hope you know what I mean, mit durch einen Schlitz blickenden Augen, with through a Schlitz, which way do you say that? Like a cut in the wood where you can look through it. Doesn't have to be wood, but you know. Schlitz, yeah, slot is the right way to say that. With through a slot, durch einen Schlitz blickenden Augen, viewing eyes or looking eyes, und einer flüchtenden Person, and a, what's it called? Is it called fleeing? A flüchten is like when you evacuate from somewhere, escape from somewhere. With an escaping or fleeing person. Stammt von Klaus Doldinger. Stems you could also say, but yeah, you could say stems from Klaus Doldinger, which is a man. So yeah, the almost or close to unchanged, geblieben, which way did you say that? Unverändert geblieben. Sorry. Remained unchanged, yeah. The close to unchanged remained unchanged, I don't know. Or unchanged title music. For the known or popular trailer, I guess, with the through a slot viewing or looking eyes. Blick, by the way, with a uppercase B, the noun, would be like the view, or when someone is looking at you, you say mein Blick, my kind of look at you, mein Blick auf dich, my look at you, my view at you. Anyways, blickenden Augen und einer flüchtenden Person stammt von Klaus Doldinger. Viewing eyes and a fleeing person stems or originates from or to Klaus Doldinger. Seems to be a musician, yeah. And the last paragraph. Tatort ist die langlebigste und, mit teils über 10 Millionen Zuschauern bei der Erstausstrahlung, beliebteste Krimireihe im deutschsprachigen Raum. Etliche Filme aus der Reihe erhielten Nominierungen und Prämierungen für bekannte Film- und Fernsehpreise, darunter den Grimme-Preis, den Deutschen Fernsehpreis, die Goldene Kamera und die Romy. So that means Tatort ist die langlebigste, Tatort is the most long-living, and mit teils über 10 Millionen Zuschauern bei der Erstausstrahlung, with partly over or more than 10 million viewers at the first broadcast, beliebteste Krimireihe im deutschsprachigen Raum, most popular crime film series in the German-speaking area, you could say, like the country, area. Etliche Filme aus der Reihe erhielten Nominierungen und Prämierungen für bekannte Film- und Fernsehpreise. Etliche is another word to say a lot or very, like many, or yeah. Etliche Filme, a lot of films aus der Reihe, which means it can either mean like out of the series, but in this case means of the series, erhielten Nominierungen, received nominations. This derives from the word halten, which means hold. Just gonna write it here. Yeah, and with the er, it just means to receive. Like, you can imagine to get something and you hold it just for the, like, that you know which way that derives from and from where. And to get you to kind of have an image to the word. Etliche Filme aus der Reihe erhielten Nominierungen, so they got nominations, und Prämierungen and awards, I guess, für bekannte Film- und Fernsehpreise, for popular film and TV. What's the word? Preis can either mean like the price of something, but in this case it means the prize of something. The TV prizes, darunter den Grimme-Preis. Darunter in general means as a preposition below something, under something, but in this case it means including in or included in that the Grimme-Preis, which is a kind of German TV prize, I guess, or award, you could rather say. Yeah, this just rather means award. Preis. Den Deutschen Fernsehpreis, which is another own award. Die Goldene Kamera, which is a more famous, I guess, TV award, where you get a golden camera. And Die Romy, which is a Austrian, seems to be an Austrian film and TV award. Yeah, so the German TV award, Grimme award, golden camera, and Romy. Yeah, I think that was it for today. If it was a bit too fast in the end, sorry, but I think that's just kind of a bit human, because in the end you kind of lose a bit of patience, but I hope I still did well in explaining to you all these things. But yeah, I hope you understood all of that. If you have anything to add, just write a comment, or if you have anything to request or to say about that, just write a comment. And leave a like, subscribe to the channel if you want to, and yeah, that was it for today. See you in the next video. Bye!